Trump supporter totally stuns AOC with one powerful question. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Congress Flash. Today we're breaking down one of the most fascinating political exchanges you'll see this year. A live debate between a Trump supporter and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. This wasn't a screaming match. It was sharp, passionate, and even, at times, respectful. I've pulled the most powerful moments from this debate, so buckle up and stick around to the end to decide who made the stronger case, James Scott Berry or AOC. Let's jump right into
violence against people. I don't think that the president should have tweeted that video that he tweeted. Do I think he should have gone to jail for it? Absolutely not. But I don't think he should have done that. I think that by endangering Congresswoman Omar, he was playing with this line. And
well, I disagree. She endangered herself, okay? That's not endangerment by showing the truth. So showing the truth is endangerment. It's inciting violence to show the truth. That is fascism.
Well, sir, I don't think anyone's trying to ban that speech.
His right to show the truth of what happened is just as valid as her right to say whatever she wants to say.
And sir, that's why he's not being, that's why there's no charges being brought up.
And being criticized by you as though there should be charges.
No, I don't think there should be charges. I don't want to
because you say he's inciting violence against her.
I think he is.
That's absurd.
Let's jump right into it.
You cannot incite violence.
It starts off unexpectedly calm. James Scott Berry, a self-identified Republican, opens by saying he's actually open to becoming a Democrat, if someone can convince him. That's not something you hear every day. Then he hits hard. He asks AOC if she's willing to investigate the 3 million violent acts and threats happening in schools every year, connecting it directly to her gun safety reforms. He even offers government documentation. It's a bold move, and it immediately forces the conversation into real policy, not just talking points. Now here's where things get really heated.
Scott Berry, I want to admit I too am a registered Republican. However, my mantra of my life is always be willing to be wrong. So maybe you or some of my friends here can convince me to be a Democrat, okay? I'm always open.
I'll take you up on it.
I used to always call myself a demo pub anyway since I was a teenager. I have two quick questions. If I have time to get them in, we'll see. The first one is on going back to your gun safety idea, but I just wanted to come indirectly at that and ask you if you would be willing to investigate the over 3 million incidences of violent acts and threats of violence allowed in our schools against teachers and against fellow students every year. And if you need, I have documentation, government documentation.
Threats in schools every year.
I think we can all agree that in every communist country, you don't have free speech. You're not free to hate the communist government or the leaders. In every Muslim country, you certainly don't have free speech to hate Allah or Muhammad or the Quran. You can be killed or put in prison by nightfall.
Just to let you know, I would just caution against, really characterizing all predominantly Muslim countries the same. You know, Turkey and many other nations do have democracies, but I do think that there are certain nations like Saudi Arabia, which even my colleague in Congress, Ilhan Omar, has very much spoken truth to power in some of those issues that you bring up as well. But I just wanted to.
Well, I have friends in almost every Muslim country. So I know what I'm talking about, and I know even in the supposedly democracies, they will put you to death if you criticize and blaspheme Muhammad, or at least put you in prison. You do not have the freedom to blaspheme Muhammad, okay? So all I'm just saying, though, is that growing even in the European socialist countries, in Europe and Canada, now you can easily face fines or imprisonment if you use critical hate speech against certain people groups. So my question is, I think we can all agree that love is the greatest aspect of humanity. But would you also agree that the greatest freedom in America and in any free country is the freedom to hate? And this goes to the debate on our college campuses. The freedom to hate is the greatest freedom because in many countries you cannot. And in America, you can hate, well, my time. And because it's not against the law, he cannot put you in prison. Isn't that a great thing? Okay?
I think I understand where you're trying to go here, and I think part of it is I think at the bedrock of what you're discussing is freedom of speech,
Right.
and the freedom of expression.
Right.
And that is what I would call it.
Yes.
I think that we have a freedom to express ourselves, but we should also know that in the United States, there are also limitations on our freedom of speech.
No, only if it involves violence or threats, things that are
Exactly.
illegal. But that's not free speech.
And so-
That's threat. Threats are not free speech.
So, and also, beyond violence
I don't think you
or
should
threats-
say that. I don't think you should say that because that's confusing the issue.
Sir, you
Well,
have your
sir,
time.
Eat it.
well, sir, I think
America's greatest freedom is the freedom to hate. In many other countries, communist nations, and some Muslim-majority countries, people don't have the right to criticize their leaders or religions without punishment.
It's dangerous to generalize all Muslim countries. There are nations like Turkey with functioning democracies. There's a difference between hate speech and free speech. You can't just yell fire in a crowded theater.
Be wrong.
and absolutely, sir. And,
Good.
I'm absolutely open to
Good.
being proven wrong on many
Good.
issues. So
Good.
when it comes, I'll just let you know my perspective. We can disagree at the end of it, but I want to
Sure.
at least let you know my perspective. My perspective is that we absolutely have a protected freedom of speech. Someone can say, I hate so-and-so, and that is protected speech.
Sure.
When we think about one of the landmark freedom of speech cases brought down by the Supreme Court, one of those cases and one of the verdicts said another form of speech that is not protected is yelling fire in a crowded movie theater.
Because you're killing people.
That will force people to trample one another.
Right.
And so that's not protected speech. So
You can yell fire in the theater if there's a fire.
if there's a fire.
Okay, so
Right.
that's a ridiculous argument.
Right, sir, but he's saying,
Protected.
You fascist, turn my mic off.
Oh, sir, no, it's, and you can turn his mic on. You don't have to cut it off. I did not ask
Thank
that to
you very
happen.
much.
No, it's totally fine. For me, I think,
Fascist.
and so I think for me, sir, it's my concern is we have freedom to say, I hate this, I hate that. Where I do get concerned is where that line is played with so that we have plausible deniability to incite violence against people. I don't think that the president should have tweeted that video that he tweeted. Do I think he should have gone to jail for it? Absolutely not. But I don't think he should have done that. I think that by endangering Congresswoman Omar, he was playing with this line. And
Well, I disagree. She endangered herself, okay? That's not endangerment
And
by
sir-
showing to show the truth. That is fascism.
well, sir, I don't think anyone's trying to ban that speech.
His right to show the truth of what happened is just as valid as her right
It is.
to say whatever she wants to say.
And sir, that's why that's why there's no charges being brought
And
up
being
against
criticized
him.
by you as though there should be charges.
No, I don't think there should be charges. I don't
Yes,
want to
because
make
you
sure that I
say he's
clarify.
inciting violence against her.
I think he is.
That's absurd. You cannot incite violence.
yeah, well, I think he
Inciting
is.
violence is illegal.
Right. And so
Inciting
So, okay, and sir, I think one of the larger, and sir, I think one of the larger questions that we have here is that if we're explicitly talking about, do we have the right to say, I hate so-and-so, I hate this, you even have the right, yes, to be bigoted in America. Absolutely. You absolutely.
The conversation shifts to Trump, specifically a tweet he posted about rappers Ilhan Omar.
It's just the truth. It dangerously flirts with inciting violence, especially in the political climate we're in. You fascists turned off my mic.
Turn the mic back on. He has a right to speak, even when you disagree.
Quick reminder, if you're finding value in this breakdown, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I cover moments like this all the time, and you won't want to miss the next one.
Now we're talking immigration. Barry defends the Trump administration's family separation policy as a necessary part of border control.
These policies inflict trauma on children taken from their parents. Policy must have a human side. Both agree bigoted speech is protected in America, but plausible deniability is often used to incite violence while pretending it's just speech.
This is where things get real. They're not just arguing, they're acknowledging how complex and messy these issues really are. And despite all the tension, the debate ends on a rare bipartisan note.
Both Barry and AOC recognize the complexity of the topics. It's not black and white. It's not just left or right.
This wasn't just a debate. It was an example of what political discourse should look like. Respectful, informed, and yes, even passionate. So now it's your turn. Who made the stronger case, James Scott Barry or AOC? Drop your answer in the comments and let's keep the conversation going, respectfully. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you in the next one.